hello. A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for UBC's Weekend Edition with me, Moureen Babirye, on this 28th of June 2026. In our first report, the State Minister for Sports in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Peter Ogwang, this week praised the work done by the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, in promoting national development. He made the remarks at KCCA Grounds Lugogo during an event organized to thank God for her life and celebrate her 78th birthday.
The President has used his birthday message to First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni to give an update on her recovery. The President said Mama Janet is recovering well after what he described as an attack on her life on March 21, 2026. Museveni said God, working through doctors, saved her life. He tied the date to the history of the resistance, recalling that March 21st was also the day that his forces defeated Idi Amin's counterattack at Rugando near Mbarara in 1979. The message titled From Omugurusi Ampa to Mama Jinga marked Janet Museveni's 78th birthday. Museveni thanked God for her life, remembering the early loss of her father, Mzee Edward Kataha, in 1955 and the years that followed. He also recalled Christmas Day in 1972 when he says he reconnected with Janet outside the Intercontinental Hotel in Nairobi. According to Museveni, the two had known each other from Ntungamo and had studied at Chamate in 1958, but Uganda's troubled politics had separated them. He described the meeting as a miraculous reconnection that later gave him a family of 4 children and 15 grandchildren. The president praised Janet Museveni for caring for the children during the 1981 and 1986 Bush War, when she was alone in exile while he was in the bush. He also commended her work with USO, her contribution to the NRM politics in Ntungamo, and her religious work. Museveni ended the message with a prayer that he and the First Lady live to 100 years, saying that he hopes they will witness the birth of the East African Federation. He described the Federation as Africa's insurance against future domination and marginalization.
Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, in a letter dated 22nd June 2026, this week, appointed the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Haruna Kasolo, as Acting Minister for Foreign Affairs in the absence of substantive minister. The appointment of Honorable Kasolo was premised on the powers vested in the President in Article 99, subsection 1 of the 1995 Constitution. Under delegation of powers in the subsequent clauses of Article 99, the President may exercise directly or delegate functions to subordinate officers, such as cabinet ministers. The appointment followed cited legal technicalities in the Migration and Citizenship Control Act that bars any person with 2 citizenships from holding a ministerial cabinet position or security office, that saw the appointment of Ambassador Adonia Ayebare as Minister of Foreign Affairs in the new ruling NRM government, alleged to be holding an American dual citizenship, put on hold for further consultations. Now, still this week, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, called upon all responsible ministers and government officials to support Tororo Cement to establish a cement factory in Karamoja in Moroto district. Now, Nabanja says this will empower the people of Karamoja to get rid of poverty in the region. The Prime Minister spent part of the day inspecting the Tororo cement factory, still undergoing construction in Katikekire in Moroto district. We have a report.
Karamoja sub-region is one of the areas endowed with limestone used in the manufacture of cement, especially by Tororo Cement. With the support from the government of Uganda, the proprietors of Tororo Cement decided to establish a factory close to the source of the raw materials. Today, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, spent part of the day inspecting Tororo Cement Factory, which is still undergoing construction in Katikikire in Moroto district.
The President is aware we are here. He appreciates your work, and that's why we are here to support you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The President said, Kisanja, no more sleep. Yes. We did not sleep. Yes, nobody will ask for anything from you here. I'm telling you. So we appreciate your work.
Yes.
I'm happy that you have employed our people.
Yes.
Especially our Karachunas.
Yes.
Nabanja called upon all responsible ministers and government officials to support Tororo Cement to establish a cement factory in Karamoja in Moroto district.
The way the President is so particular, let me use that word for lack of a better word, he's so convinced that Tororo Cement will give us some push when it comes to economic development and industrialization.
The Prime Minister was accompanied by the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Monica Mosenero, State Minister for Environment, Beatrice Anywa, State Minister for Works, Ziraje Musa Ali, and Minister for Karamoja Affairs, John Baptiste Roki.
In as far as Karamoja is concerned, the main hurdle, which was stifling development in Karamoja, has been removed. It was the illegal gun. But His Excellency, the President, took a decisive action to remove all the illegal guns. By now, we wouldn't be here. Here, all would be fire. You would be scared running here. So we thank His Excellency, the President, and the UPDF, and all security agencies for taking a decisive action, for the dedication, the sacrifice to remove illegal guns. Now, the ground in Karamoja is level for investment to take shape. And
for the investors that we have around the globe, I would like to tell them, come and invest in Uganda. There is no other country safe, secure, and steady how the development happens in this country. So please kindly consider Uganda as your first priority to invest in Africa. And if it is East Africa, it has to be Uganda.
We are supposed to construct a 132 kV transmission line. The ministry has already transferred 80 billion to ETCL.
We have been the one on the ground, and I'm happy to hear from my son Manesh that the cooperation and involvement with the investor is 100%. And they don't have any doubt that we have given them maximum cooperation as directed by His Excellency the President.
So on behalf of the President,
Yes.
of the Republic of Uganda, it is my honor to officially launch the construction of this dam is called who? Katikeke Dam.
And it will impound 1 billion liters.
Yes. 1 billion.
1 billion liters. When it rains and it is full and starts spilling, it will impound 1 billion liters. So if it is full, even if it doesn't rain for 2.5 years, yes, I'll still be supplying water to the factory without any problem.
Good.
Thank you.
That's great.
That's good.
Nabanja also raised concerns regarding the shoulder works, which was done on Moroto Road. Some section of the road, constructed about 5 years ago, is already peeling off.
This road is very new. You, the contractors who are coming here to give us shoulder work, to take our money and repatriate it. Now, the company that did that work, for me, I'm going to call them to come and see. You cannot come and steal our country and our watch. They're still here. I'm telling you, this must stop. How do you give us a road and just 5 years it's not there? This time we are going to make a value for money audit on that road.
Now, members of parliament affiliated to the Patriotic League of Uganda served the clerk to parliament seeking leave of parliament to table a private member's bill aimed at the amendment of the Parliament Administration Act. Led by Buyaga West County MP Dennis Namara, the bill seeks to overturn the legal frame of the Leader of Opposition of, among others, consulting other opposition parties and voting the Leader of Opposition and accountability of the Office of the Leader of Opposition.
As per the Administration of Parliament Act Article 82A of the Constitution, Parliament is to exist under the multi-party system with the Leader of Opposition. Subject to subsection 23, the Leader of Opposition shall be elected by the party in opposition with the greatest numerical strength in Parliament, with consultations from other opposition political parties and independent members of Parliament. However, according to some members of Parliament led by Buyaga West County MP Dennis Namara, they cited that the existing Leader of Opposition did not follow the law.
Right now what's happening is that the Leader of Opposition is not chosen by the opposition political parties. Neither through consultation. The Leader of Opposition is selected from Kavule by some few individuals without consulting other opposition members of Parliament.
Following this, they have served the Clerk of Parliament seeking leave of Parliament to table a private member's bill moving the amendment of the Administration of Parliament Act.
We are coming up with a motion to amend that particular provision, Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, to provide how elaborately the Leader of Opposition has to be chosen. And that has to be an election where the opposition members of Parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of Parliament. The same law did not provide how all political parties are consulted when constituting the membership of the committees of Parliament. What is happening now? Still people go to Kavule and elect and decide who goes on which committee of Parliament.
MPs cite that the bill also seeks to amend on how the LOP can be removed from office, showing accountability of the budget allocated to the LOP's office, among other concerns.
The Leader of Opposition of that office has a budget of about 4 billion Uganda shillings. That money is drawn from the consolidated fund. Therefore, there must be an oversight by Parliament in as far as how that money is spent, whether there's value for money or not.
You saw what happened within the Parliament. Every stone was touched. So even those who access government resources while hiding behind elements of opposition, the stone will be turned.
However, the Bari constituency MP Charles Tebandeke says the private member's bill by the honorable MPs is unnecessary.
Maybe they just want to provide in the amendment to cater for their spirit as a PLOU within the law. But if it is in the spirit of the law, in consideration with the law of justice, democratic principles, whichever they are seeking for is provided within the law. So what is so foreign, what is new that they want to provide in the law is not so clear. I think this is a political move.
Both the 10th and the 11th Parliament tabled a bill of the sort, but all in vain, where Tebandeke says Parliament should be respected, rather than being used as a playground.
Parliament should not be used as a rubber stamp, that for whoever wants to stamp any other document must run to Parliament as a dustbin to accommodate whichever dust that wants to be thrown in line with fake laws. When making laws, it shouldn't, the law shouldn't have any eye of looking at a particular person, but the law must always come in the spirit of togetherness, generosity, to create sanity and justice within the country.
Lina Sungopek, Member of Parliament for Chibanda North County, is said to be one of the seconders of this bill, highlighting that it's not fighting anyone.
Whoever receives public funds must be accountable because you're using public resources. So that is our stand.
Rebecca Natongo, Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
Now, Parliament is yet to register a third attempt to amend the Administration of Parliament Act to change the mode of elections of the Leader of Opposition. The move, if effected, could be the first controversial legislation of the 12th Parliament months after its establishment. Now, the last attempt was a private member's bill introduced by Richard Lumu, the then legislator for Mityana South, which hit a dead end.
In the 11th Parliament, the then Mityana South legislator Richard Lumu introduced the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2024 to change the mode of electing the Leader of Opposition.
There is also another problem where two parties bring equal numbers of MPs. For example, if DP party manages to bring 30 and NUP also brings 30, the law, the way it stands now, we cannot get a Leader of Opposition.
The move was highly witnessed as a witch hunt on the Nakawa West MP Joel Senyonyi, who was the then Leader of Opposition. The MPs in the 11th Parliament expressed mixed reactions on the expeditious process of the legislation.
Honourable Speaker, what is so special with this amendment of Lumu, which was generated in Gulu just within a month, and it is now on the order paper?
The certificate of financial implication was given very fast. All the documents were processed very fast. So what is that interest?
The then Parliamentary Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, chaired by Stephen Baka Mugabe, initiated the scrutiny of the bill, which all witnesses disagreed with the move. Also, the then FDC Chief Whip, Yusuf Nsibambi, and legal experts, including from the National Resistance Movement, disagreed with the move to amend Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, citing intentions to dilute the available multi-party space.
Really subjecting election of such an important leader who is supposed to now pass on government, alternative government policy and do all the checks in the hands of different political parties with different manifestos, actually with different challenges. They have even their own political issues internally. So I think that is going to cause more confusion in Parliament.
There is a popular vote to it, and you cannot purport to take that away. And so we think that an attempt to then subject that Leader of Opposition to the other political parties in the House would effectively be stripping the other political party of its right and power in some sense.
Even for democratic growth, it's not a good thing when you legislate targeting an individual, because you will want to push this law through to target Joel Senyonyi, but tomorrow he's not the one going to be in this office. It might be you or some of those that have sponsored this bill. Then what happens?
At the tail end of the 11th Parliament, the private member Richard Lumu withdrew the bill, having been guided by the Attorney General's office.
Madam Speaker, with that, I accordingly seek permission that the bill be withdrawn. Thank you very much.
I could not allow the Leader of Opposition, for example, to be elected by all members of the parliament. And when I saw some people, that's what they were intending.
In the wake of the 12th Parliament, the spirit to make similar amendments in the Administration of Parliament Act has resurfaced. A section of members of Parliament subscribing to the Patriotic League of Uganda movement is treading the same path.
And that has to be an election where the opposition members of parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of parliament. Because practically, independent members of parliament belong to the opposition, but they are never consulted.
The 12th Parliament is in its early stages of warming the bench. However, attention is on the controversial legislation if effected. Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Oboth, warned the members of the Patriotic League of Uganda, a pressure group led by the Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, to not dare undermine the NRM government, but rather work closely with the party in power for the betterment of Uganda. Now, to his doubters, Oboth requested for more time as he settles into his new assignment. He presided over the handover ceremony of the PLU Secretary General at their offices in Nakuru.
The Patriotic League of Uganda offices in Nakuru, Kampala have been a happy place this Wednesday afternoon as hundreds of loyalists gathered to witness the inauguration of the General Secretary. The Wednesday event attracted the attendance of the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Jacob Oboth. Oboth's arrival was followed by the entrance of the incoming General Secretary, Twala Fadil. The fully packed ceremony was honored by attendance of over 25 members of cabinet.
PLU has consistently complemented national efforts aimed at advancing development and improving the lives of our people.
God bless PLU. Excited to be here to see that my younger brother Fadil
and the Minister, Office of the Vice President, congratulations Honorable Fadil and congratulations to the PLU community. Congratulations, my son Fadil.
The Deputy Attorney General, member of the Central Executive Committee of PLU, representing Uganda Region.
Anifa Bangirana, Minister of State, General Duties.
I'm glad to be here, and I would like to congratulate my brother, Honorable Twala Fadil.
We stand together with PLU, and we are going to fight corruption in this country.
PLU is for peace, development, and zero tolerance to corruption and impunity in our country.
NRM Central Executive Committee members Salimu Uhuru, Alinaite Rakajara, Odwin Kovsinji, Lieutenant Moses Mushabe, and retired Major Paula Awichi represented the top leadership of the NRM party.
Thank you, General MK, for appointing Fadil.
We have come here today to witness what you are doing, the appointment of the General Secretary.
For members of Parliament in the 12th Parliament dominated the day's attendance.
And I want to thank NRM, the Central Committee, for always cooperating with PLU. You have given us an opportunity to work with you.
We are here today to witness a transition, a transfer of responsibility that carries the full weight of PLU's movement's future and indeed the future of Uganda.
In the absence of the outgoing General Secretary Daudi Kabanda, the office was handed over by the Director in charge of Mobilization, Michael Mawanda, an event presided by Council Edwin Karujire.
Excellent. When I took over offices as the first General Secretary of PLU, I remember feeling a mix of excitement and challenge.
Raised from the humble district of Kapchora in Sebei sub-region, Fadil considers his elevation as a working of God. The CDF General host Kainerugaba and his voters of Tingate County.
I'm deeply humbled and honored to stand before you today as I assume the office of General Secretary of Patriotic League of Uganda.
Fadil now says he will focus on building party structures, promote the organization's core principles of non-tolerance to corruption, development and national unity, youth empowerment, among others.
You are not to be a ceremonial secretary. You are to be an engine of economic transformation.
The Speaker of the 12th Parliament, Right Honorable Jacob Oboth, graced the PLU General Secretary inauguration event as the chief witness.
I thank Honorable David Kabanda for his years of dedicated service as the pioneer Secretary General of PLU. He set a high standard for this position.
Oboth wants the incoming General Secretary to brave for whatever task lies ahead of him.
PLU stands for unity, and unity is not a slogan. It is a weapon. Use that weapon well.
To the pressure group, Speaker Oboth has warned them against undermining the government in power, but rather calling them to support its moves to anchor its mandate as an unelected government.
You are here to support the NRM government and not to undermine it. You can see the SEC members.
And to his doubters as the Speaker of the 12th Parliament, Oboth speaks with his one heart.
So give me some time. Don't push me too much. You will see results.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Still this week, Africans have been urged to embrace Pan-Africanism and indigenous cultural values for sustainable development. The call was made by Pan-Africanists Nshemerirwe Arthur and Pastor Mbabazi Robert, the presidential mobilizer on poverty eradication program, during the cultural introduction ceremony between Ugandan Caroline and Nigerian Mike in Kashari, Ntungamo. We have a report.
The first one being the father of John Tumwine. And I happen to be the last one. But according to our culture, when his father was about to pass away, he left a will and some guidelines that he distributed his children among his brothers.
The four principles of NRM, as he talked, principle number one is the patriotism. Love your country, love your friend the way you love yourself. Carlos, thank you for connecting us to Nigeria. And I believe in our journey to eradicate poverty, we have now got another turn of development network. So I will come to Uganda and will come all whatever you have, work with us. I'm very happy. Nshemerirwe is we work together as an opinion leader.
The cow which is given, you don't slaughter it. You keep it so that it produces.
I thank you for your support. Thank you, thank you. Webale, kuletera omusija wawe. Webale empula yawe. Emicho yotorekire kulizemu obaliyo wagumizamu Nigeria yuwazi.
Now, the Lord Mayor of Kampala City, Ronald Balimwezo, has implored the Rotary Club of Kampala City to consider extending a supportive hand to key challenges that are affecting Kampala City. The mayor pointed out areas including health, sanitation and education where more stakeholder involvement is still needed. This was during the 9th presidential installation and chartered celebrations of Rotary Club of Kampala Central. Now, John Naisanga Arap Moi was installed as the 9th president, replacing Evasta Bogega.
I, Naisanga Joan Arap Moi, do solemnly pledge that I will faithfully execute the duties of the President of the Rotary Club of Kampala City and that I will do the best of my ability to support the District Governor, Gerard Obai, and the Rotary International, and that I will uphold the Constitution and the bylaws of this club.
As the next president of the Club of Kampala City.
In Kamocha. We established the Kamocha Community Library, giving 500 individuals a space to learn and dream. We delivered clean water to communities that needed it, and we built meaningful partnerships with fellow Rotary clubs, Rotaractors, and corporate allies that multiplied our reach far beyond we could achieve alone.
The integrity and legacy of Rotary. To my club members and board of directors, I give you my word tonight. I'll not be a leader who sits on a throne and backs orders. Instead, I'll be a leader who rolls up her sleeves and works hand in hand right beside you in the trenches of service. I'll use my ears more than the microphone.
Diseases that are affecting us are hygiene related. Poor garbage management. We have the poorest quality of garbage that we generate in the city. We generate 2,500 tons of garbage every day of the poorest quality because we mix it. We don't separate it at source. People put pampers, people put feces, and this is the reason that we have several diseases. You've talked about the dark community. When you go out there in the community, people have no palatable drinking water. Yesterday I was called by a certain community, and it had no palatable water in Natete.
In more news, effective implementation of the law and psychosocial support has been spotted as the main way to reduce on all kinds of torture in Uganda. This has been revealed by stakeholders in an engagement organized by the Uganda Human Rights Commission in a bid to commemorate the UN Day in support of torture victims' public dialogue.
The commemoration brought together government officials, human rights defenders, civil society organizations, development partners and survivors to advocate for justice, accountability and respect for human rights.
Ensure accountability for perpetrators, protect complainants from reprisals and reinforce the role of the Uganda Human Rights Commission in combating torture.
Speakers emphasized that torture remains a grave violation of human dignity and called for stronger measures to prevent abuse and ensure perpetrators are held accountable.
There's been a great challenge when it comes to awards. When the commission or the court gives awards, you find that it's a very big challenge to access compensation, whether from the Attorney General or the relevant institutions.
When someone has won a case against government, there must be a step taken to initiate that. Most of the victims do not know what to do.
They also stressed the need to support survivors through access to justice, rehabilitation and psychosocial care, noting that many continue to live with the physical and emotional effects of torture long after the abuse has ended.
The perpetrators start punishing them openly so that we can know that at least there is some action taken on human rights.
The event ended with stakeholders renewing their commitment to promoting human rights, preventing torture, and encouraging communities to speak out against abuse and support victims seeking justice.
The committee expressed concern about widespread allegations of torture and ill treatment, prolonged pretrial detention, impunity for perpetrators, the existence of unauthorized places of detention, limited access to habeas corpus, and the failure to adequately compensate victims.
And the importance is, since it came up in this dialogue, they can also, between the two different parties or participants and the UHRC, they can have an opportunity to continue discussing this matter.
Uganda's Constitution and the Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Act 2012 prohibit torture. This year's commemoration was held under the theme, taking stock of the success and challenges in the protection and promotion of freedom from torture, cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment, or punishment. Nals Bawini reporting for UBC.
In another development, in the course of a week, small and medium enterprises in Uganda continue to face challenges accessing financing due to weak governance structures, poor record keeping, and failure to meet bank lending requirements. Now, to bridge this gap and strengthen business capacity, NCBA Bank and Mart Abacus Business School have launched an enterprise development program to prepare SMEs for easier access to credit and long-term business growth.
Businesses continue to face challenges accessing financing due to poor record keeping, weak governance structures, and failure to meet bank lending requirements. To address this, NCBA Bank has partnered with Mart Abacus Business School to launch an enterprise development program aimed at preparing SMEs to become credit-ready and access financing more easily. The program will initially support 150 small and medium enterprises, beginning with the first cohort of 30 businesses.
We believe is suitable to support the SMEs in this market. And that syllabus should be able to support them in, first of all, growing, secondly, to understand their business better, thirdly, to understand their finances better.
Through training and advisory services, participants will receive support in business registration, tax compliance, financial management, governance, and business planning to help them meet banking requirements.
We shall also be mentoring. We look at different scenarios where you have problems in your business. How do you deal with those different scenarios where family members are not agreeing, where there are disputes in the business and so forth? So we will be mentoring you in terms of how you do that conflict resolution. So there's coaching and then there's mentoring.
The program is actually free for our customers. The advantage of some of these, of this course or of this support enterprise development program is that it will bring to the fore some of the developing issues that are coming and make them ready for them to actually be able to be sustained.
The initiative will also provide qualifying businesses with faster access to credit, including unsecured lending, while equipping them with the skills needed for long-term growth and sustainability.
There's a whole compendium of things that we want to make business people understand. But also need to make these businesses understand that don't look at your business on the basis of, I don't know what the English word is, today's food, meriarero, but look at your business in the long term. Okay, so then you get the issues of succession planning. You have a trust, you have a will, have you got structures in place to continue running your business? So how do you deal with issues of business continuity?
I think 1 or 2 years ago, the EU said that they must be certified to ensure that the coffee that they're getting has not been as a result of cutting down of trees.
Of forests. Yes.
Of forests. So there must be certification. So we had some of those customers failing to export. So the advantage of some of these, of this course or of this support enterprise development program is that it will bring to the fore some of the developing issues that are coming and make them ready for them to actually be able to be sustainable.
The partners believe the program will strengthen SMEs, which remain the backbone of Uganda's economy, and contribute to the country's economic growth ambitions. The first group of SMEs is expected to begin the program in the coming months.
Now, still last week, Ugandans were urged to plant more trees in order to conserve the environment. This was during the installation of the Lion and Leo Club presidents in Kampala. Lion Susan Muhumuza Nyatia, the Lion president-elect, outlined her work plan in her tenure as the Lion president. Now, Dr. James Musinguzi, the executive director of Uganda Wildlife Authority, who was also the guest of honor, pledged total support to the Lions and urged them to join UWA in promoting tourism in Uganda.
To reiterate that there is a lot that we can do together in terms of conservation of the environment, in terms of so many things that she has enumerated and what Lions Club stand for. Let us harness these partnerships more and further so that we see what can we do together. How many of you visit Uganda's protected areas? Sometimes when you talk about tourism, you think about the Muzungu who is going to come and visit. We need to start by doing it ourselves through domestic tourism promotion.
I would like to strengthen our unity, expand our reach, and deepen our service. Together we will champion the global causes of Lions Club International, which are vision, hunger, environment, childhood cancer, and diabetes. As a club, our flagship project this Lionistic year will be two. We shall do all the other projects, but we have two major projects. One of them is we shall refurbish the library at the Police Children's School in Maguru. This year we shall transform the library into a modern learning space, equipped with books, reading materials, and a conducive environment for study. This project reflects our commitment to nurturing education and empowering young learners. The other project is a medical camp in Kaboya, Kobe district. You will ask why Kaboya? I personally have an attachment to Kaboya because that is where my roots started. Outside of being a Leo, I'm a hotelier as well, so I'm just very happy. Thank you to our mother club. I am so happy to be a part of you, and I look forward to serving and working alongside our new incoming president and all the members of the Lions Club of Kampala East. Thank you.
Now, officials from the National Drugs Authority have seized a consignment of suspected counterfeit human and animal medicine during operations in Kawempe and Kanyanya, Kampala. The raid targeted drug outlets and storage points dealing in unregistered and substandard medicines. 3 suspects were arrested and are being held at Kawempe police stations as investigations continue, with authorities indicating that more arrests could follow as they trace the wider distribution network.
Received the intelligence information that there are chicken breeders who are conducting such, who are receiving such vaccines without authorization. Yeah, so we encourage the general public, or all those who are involved in this practice, that in Uganda we have distributors, we have importers, we have dealers generally who have licensed pharmacies who import and distribute vaccines for chicken breeds, who import drugs after receiving authorization, because importing such drugs without authorization, it is very disastrous to the public, since these drugs, when they are entering the country, before they are allowed into the country, they are our officers at the gazetted ports of entry in Malaba, in Busia, even at the Entebbe airport in Nakawa, who assess. They look into the documentation for the manufacture of
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. Registration number is UBB 187.
Tested and tried since 1995, Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
I'm called Awidi Isabella. I'm studying from Villa Maria School of Nursing. I've won a school fees with the MTN Momo. This school fees you win for a full year, which I'm very happy for it. I thank MTN Momo for helping me in paying my school fees.
We've paid all the fees for the year.
Thank you very much, because on Wednesday, the principal told me, look for my man and bring my man. I told her, me, I don't have man, and you have to wait until I get the money. But when I left our office, at 3, they called me that you have won the money from Momo. I said, how does it happen?
As long as you pay school fees using Momo, you stand a chance to win school fees for a year. Dial *165 *80# to win school fees for a year and more.
You're still watching UBC's weekly news roundup. Now in more news, His Majesty Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II appeared before the public during a meeting with clan leaders Bataka. In his address, the Kabaka spoke about various issues in the country, including violation of human rights and abductions, and advises responsible authorities to ensure that such practices are brought to an end.
Drums sounded early at the Kabaka's palace in Mengo as the clan leaders prepared for a meeting with His Majesty the Kabaka. At around midday, the Kabaka moved out of the Twekowe house amid the sound of drums and traditional royal instruments. His Majesty addressed the clan heads and urged them to continue guiding their grandchildren to uphold and respect their culture.
Okuyigiriza n'okwagazisa bazzukulu bammwe empisa ennono ebyafaayo n'olulimi lwaffe.
The Kabaka also spoke about the increasing cases of abductions, kidnappings and violation of human rights, saying that such acts must be stopped.
Ensonga ey'okukwatira amateeka mu ngalo oba obutagoberera mateeka kintu kya bulabe. Tusaasira abo bonna abatyoboddwa mu ngeri eno. Tusaba bekikwatako okulaba nti ensi yaffe efugibwa ku nkola essa ekitiibwa mu bantu.
He expressed concern about unemployment among the youth and land grabbing. He urged his subjects to remain united.
Okwekengera nga mwe muli ekibbattaka, tulina ekizibu ky'obwavu, endwadde n'ebbula ly'emirimu mu bantu baffe abasinga obungi. Awo nno okusobola okuwaŋŋanga ebitusoomooza tusaanidde okutambulira awamu, era bwe tuba nga tulina ensonga tusaanye okuwuliziganya n'okukolera awamu.
The Kabaka noted with satisfaction that despite the challenges facing young people, they continue to show love for the kingdom and support towards kingdom activities.
Kimpa essanyu lingi nnyo okulaba nga abavubuka ba Buganda bangi bettanira era bawagira nnyo Obwakabaka. Tubalenamu essuubi ddene.
On behalf of the clan leaders, the chairperson of their council, Omutaka Namwama Augustine Kizito Mutumba, expressed dissatisfaction over government delay to return Buganda's belongings.
Bannaffe balina obuyinza okusasula ssente zaffe ku nsonga ku by'obugagga bw'Obwakabaka ate ne batatusasula. Ne twesiŋŋaana ng'Obuganda bulina okunoonya ssente wano ne wali.
The clan leaders, together with their caciqueros, attended the meeting. Joseph Chigozigola and Andrew Sebira reporting for UBC.
In other news, Uganda's growing profile as an emerging destination for innovation and investment took center stage this week as Legacy Hills Investments Limited presented the country at 2 high-level innovation events in Italy, strengthening connections between East Africa's startup ecosystem and European investors. Leading the engagement was Legacy Hills Investments CEO Sharon Tumushabe, who participated in the Startup Africa Roadshow across Milan. During the engagement, she delivered keynote addresses at sessions hosted by Primor Capital, BIP Red offices at Liberty Tower, and the public showcase at Paco Center. As part of the roadshow, Tumushabe also introduced Kenyan startup TrueSource, founded by Shalom Nyende, as the company presented its technology solution before an audience of global investors and ecosystem leaders.
One of the founder and the president of the Entrepreneurs Association. The Entrepreneurs is the Italian association which from 2017 operates the program Startup Africa Road Trip. Our mission is to support emerging innovators in East Africa, in countries such as Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, and Tanzania. We feel the competencies gap in terms of entrepreneurship knowledge, but also in terms of understanding of how to scale a tech startup across the continent. And finally, we also we have the ambition of creating connection with the Italian innovation ecosystem. And
Thank you so much for watching to the very end. That's about how much took place in the course of a week. I'm looking forward to being with you at 8 and 10 p.m. in our subsequent news bulletins. My name is Moureen Babirye. Good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise.